afternoon, everyone. Ben here, and today we're going to be doing our swing state analysis, moving on to the state of Michigan, and this is this was one of the closest states in 2016, with about as much of a difference percent-wise as New Hampshire. New Hampshire was closer in votes. Michigan was probably slightly closer in percent. And yeah, so we're going to look at just how close it was. And we can actually see that Trump did better in Wayne County. He did much better in Wayne County than he did in Washtenaw County. That's interesting. And Kalamazoo's surprisingly close. Won Grand Rapids. Clinton barely won Muskegon, I'm not sure. And of course, she also narrowly won Marquette County. If we look at this, we can see where the conservative areas of the state are, which would be this part that sort of borders Canada, part of the Oven Mitt, this upper area, most of the Upper Peninsula, and the southern border, all along the southern border of the state. And of course in the super rural areas. And if we look at the change from 2012, we see that everywhere but Ann Arbor, Kent County, which is Grand Rapids, Ottawa County, and Leelanau County, I guess that's how you say it, moved heavily towards the right, heavily towards the Republicans. I would call this the Trump effect, but it just seems very strange. And of course, so we can see Trump improved by a net of, well, he improved by 6%, and it looks like Democrats, he actually improved his vote totals. He gained, it looks like, 14,000 votes, whereas Clinton lost a massive amount of votes, which if Clinton had not lost as many votes in Wayne County, which there's good arguments that there was depressed turnout in Wayne County due to weather, which is something I believe I noted when I was when I was on Kelvin's stream for the election, was that the weather might have an effect in Detroit, which it did. People don't like to stand in lines to wait to vote, and they especially don't like it if it's rainy or worse weather. So that maybe affected turnout in these areas. And it seems Michigan was one of those reasons. But then again, Trump was performed much stronger here than previous Republicans by a significant margin. Look at the state. I wish I could see the entire state count, but and if you look at this, Clinton barely won anything. Flint was surprisingly close. It was within 10 points. So it is definitely a Trump state, if that makes any sense. At least in 2016 it was. It was a prime state for him to pick up, but I'm skeptical that it was just Trump that caused it, and I do think the weather in Wayne County, aka Detroit, definitely affected it. Though Trump also won Macomb County, so who knows? Who honestly knows what the real reason for Michigan flipping was? But that said, Trump did win it. You can't go back into the past and say whatever he didn't or anything like that. But another interesting note is that if the Libertarian vote decreases in 2020, there is a very, very good chance that Trump could maintain this state, even if Wayne County return votes like it did in 2012. Simply because most of these votes, I'd say about maybe 130,000, I'd say Johnson would go down a couple percent at least, probably down less than, the Libertarians probably going to have less than 1% in this state, which means probably in the 30,000 vote total, 30,000 votes for the Libertarian. That probably means, so we've got 140,000, 142,000 split. I'd say about 100,000 of those would probably go to the Republican, meaning that Wayne County's increase in turnout would probably not matter. So it is interesting to note. I'm going to be factoring it in as if the Libertarians don't play a significant factor in the election. I should have specifically stated that when I started doing this, when I was covering Florida. But I guess it should be considered fairly obvious that I'm considering, I'm pretending that the Libertarian, or not pretending, but taking into account the Libertarians are probably not going to have as significant turnout as they did this year. So, yeah, I'm going to, against a generic Democrat, I'm going to just barely lean this towards the Democrats, though I definitely think Trump has a very good shot of carrying the state a second time. Just based off of what I'm looking at with the results and how I would measure whether Libertarian supporters are going to vote Trump or whoever the Democrat is. And depending on who the Democrat is, Libertarians could just abandon their party and vote Trump anyway. For example, Libertarians like myself, we may not be huge fans of Trump, but we would prefer Trump to any progressive. We don't care who the progressive is. We will take Trump over just about every single one of them. So, there is that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and remember, I am leaning this towards the Democrats. See you guys next time. Bye.